James Twin for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to talk about this fight in advance because it's going to be 3 weeks from today. It's June 7th of me shooting this, so this fight will be taking place June 28th. Y'all mark your calendars, June 28th, Honda Center, Anaheim, California. It's going to be a momentous occasion because you're going to have a fighter in Floyd Schofiled, Kid Austin, who really and truthfully has a lot to prove. I mean, if we could fast forward back to November, he fought Rene Talise Garon, got put on his ass, showed a lot of vulnerabilities, didn't look like he was a top shelf world-class fighter. Good fighter, but not like, with the Shakur Stevensons and the Keyshawn Davises or like the Abdullah Masons. He let some things be desired, right? But good fight against Garon. I was there. And then he signed the fight Shakur Stevenson, and he pulled out the fight. There's been a lot of speculations about whether or not it was real or not. People are gonna have their opinions, but there's a lot of question marks about Floyd Schofiled right now at this stage of his career, right? So he's on one side. On the other side, you got a guy who, on paper, he's lost 3 fights in a row, his last 3 fights in a row. But I'll be honest with you, I think when his career is done and people look at all the guys he fought and the performances he had and the fact that he was already world champion early in his career, history will smile fondly on this particular fighter right here. And that fighter is the true Philadelphia Warrior himself, Tevin Farmer. Now, Floyd Schofiled, Tevin Farmer, very interesting fight because I feel like Floyd Schofiled is getting the same test that Raymond Murataya got before, because Top Rank wanted to do Raymond Murataya versus Shakur Stevenson. I've talked to Brad Goodman, and they've said that he told me because him and his team were yapping their mouths about wanting to fight Shakur Stevenson. So they said, okay, you want to fight Shakur Stevenson? We'll give you Tevin Farmer, see how you do with that kind of a style, and then we'll go from there. And he didn't look so good. Truth be told, I don't even think he won, right? So Tevin Farmer has made some good young fighters look bad. Williams Zepeda was the big bad volume puncher, knocking everybody out. Tevin Farmer put him on his ass the first fight. Some people thought he won the first fight. Some people thought he won the second fight. The second fight was close. Both fights were close. Even if you thought Farmer lost both fights, Zepeda never showed a true gap in class, right? So Tevin Farmer, even coming off of 3 losses, is actually probably one of the better lightweights out there, right? So really good fight. Floyd Schofiled is athletic. He likes to switch. He's got a solid frame on him. He likes to impose his physical size on fighters. But Tevin Farmer has been through that before. He's seen a lot of high-level guys. He's seen all kinds of styles from all over the world, and he's been champion. And at some point, I know Tevin Farmer, he's getting tired of getting the props from the boxing fans and the whatnot. But his record says that he's lost the last 3 fights. So I'm sure, being a prideful fighter and a prideful man that he is, he wants to get back in the win column. And honestly, I think this is his best chance to get back in the win column that he's had in a while. Because, with Zepeda, he wasn't going to get against Zepeda, especially not in the rematch. Because in the rematch, it was in Mexico, and you got to basically do what Bruno Serraz did. You got to nail these guys to the canvas to get a decision there. And Tevin Farmer's not that kind of fighter. Murataya, I don't know, Top Rank likes him, so he wasn't getting the benefit of the doubt there. But I think Floyd Schofiled, he's explosive, he's dynamic offensively, athletically speaking. But Floyd Schofiled is not. He hasn't shown that he can fight in the pocket consistently. He has shown himself, in my opinion, based on the Garon fight, other fights in the past, he has shown himself to be a bit of a front runner. So I think if there was a young fighter who has an O, that Tevin Farmer could possibly go out there and just be crafty and outbox, it's Floyd Schofiled. Now, will he get a decision? Conventional wisdom says probably no, because Golden Whip Promotions doesn't have a lot of young premium talent. This is one of the young premium talents. They can't afford him to lose to Tevin Farmer, who's at the end of his career and really, from a monetary standpoint, probably doesn't do a lot for them. And mind you, you guys, the boxing fans, these fighters to the promoters are investments. So they, Golden Boy, when they sign someone, when any promoter signs someone, they poured a certain amount of money into Floyd Schofield. So they're going to want to make sure they get a return on their investment, and they can't get that return on their investment unless he fights a big fight against like Shakur, Keyshawn, one of those big names. Tevin Farmer's not that name. So that's kind of like my view of the fight going in. Could this be a situation where Floyd Schofield just punches a hole through Tevin Farmer? Possibly. You know, psychologically speaking, Tevin Farmer's lost 3 fights in a row on paper, and he's getting tired of getting the short end of the stick. And he's been at it for a long time. He's at this point, and time flies when you're having fun, but at this point, Tevin Farmer is now, guys, a veteran of over 40 fights. Over 40 fights. So there's a lot of wear and tear on the body. You don't know where he's at psychologically. So I think this fight to me is very interesting because psychologically speaking, I think both fighters are in a vulnerable state. Floyd Schofield hasn't lost, but he's got to be in a vulnerable state of mind because of the fact that his last fight, the last time we saw him in the ring, he didn't look so good against Rene Telis Garone, right? And he got dropped and just didn't look great. Then he had the contract with Shakur, pulled out of it, got a whole bunch of criticism from that. So he may be in a vulnerable state. Tevin Farmer's lost 3 fights. He's probably tired of this shit and wants to get out. You know, he got investments. He got real estate. I had him on the channel one time. He was talking about how he has investments in real estate. So he probably wants to get the hell out of boxing because he's gotten what he's needed out of the sport. So they're both in a situation where psychologically things could be against them, working against them. It's all about, like any fight, who imposed their style of the fight. I think early, Floyd Schofield is going to be very dangerous. I think it's up to Tevin Farmer to use those legs, use that experience, counterpunch him, kind of spoil the fight a little bit early, and take Floyd to those later rounds, middle rounds. Look for those counterpunch opportunities and be accurate so that you can drain and sap his energy. And then when he throws at you, make sure he's not landing so you discourage him. That's going to be Tevin Farmer's key to victory. And for Floyd Schofield, he has to get in Tevin Farmer's chest and make him realize that he's old and that the sport has passed him by, and just get him out of here. So should be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm putting Floyd Schofield on a very high upset alert. I think this is a fight where Tevin Farmer could right the ship and get a win here, but I think the politics of boxing, even if Floyd Schofield has a terrible performance, unless he gets stopped or gets shut out or loses 10 rounds, I think he's getting a decision. So that's my prediction for the fight. I don't know. I don't care if it's by hook or by crook. Floyd Schofield will probably get a decision, and Tevin Farmer will get screwed again. But they fight the fights for a reason, so we'll see what happens. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts of the fight? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, and we got a monster in town. For more great boxing content from America to Japan and everywhere else in between, make sure you guys subscribe, stay tuned, and keep it locked.